It's about purpose without God. It's about how human purpose and caring, just like consciousness and absolutely everything else in existence, could plausibly have emerged and evolved unguided, bottom up, in a spontaneous universe. And it's about how people cope and thrive without recourse to supernatural belief, after they overcome the persistent illusion that the universe and life have inherent purpose. As a psychiatrist, I find myself preoccupied with the human condition. Every day my patients confront me with issues of life's purpose and meaning. I'm also very interested in science, and I wanted to construct a coherent worldview for myself, for my children, and to help others. A worldview that begins with accepting what science tells us about the world, that the universe is fundamentally random. And yet, I wasn't satisfied with a reductionistic scientific view. I wanted to introduce a humanistic angle that was still consistent with science. People believe that things happen for a reason, probably because evolution wired us that way. We're social animals, and we're very adept at recognizing intention, deliberate intention of other people and of predators and prey. And we're extremely good at detecting patterns. We're so good at detecting patterns and intention that our brains overshoot, and we see patterns in meaningless noise. And we think that random natural events are intended. Believing that things happen for a reason is a double-edged sword. It can be comforting and reassuring. It can also leave people in a state of anguish, asking, why me, when terrible adversity happens? Many people worry that if the universe has no purpose, neither do we. A random world, which is the world according to everything that science tells us, and despite our intuitions, a random world is often misconstrued as demotivating, nihilistic, devoid of morality and meaning. In my book, I show how coming to terms with randomness, while initially frightening, is also liberating and empowering. The scientific worldview of a spontaneous, unguided universe is awe-inspiring and is foundational to building a more compassionate society. I hope that non-believers and doubters of religion, as well as believers, will be reassured to discover that the human sense of purpose is not dependent on the universe having a purpose. As more and more people in Western society lose their religious faith, we're not headed for a state of nihilism, of loss of morality and meaning. People will continue to live purposeful, inspired, and compassionate lives just as much as before. The scientific worldview of a spontaneous, unguided universe can actually help us to build a more compassionate society. People who embrace science as a worldview tend to be the most inspired and purpose-driven members and contributors to society. It's my hope that this book just might motivate the reader to become such a person.